Welcome back to my channel, Coding with Dharia. My name is Dhari Raj and let's continue with the series on Python. So in today's video, we are going to look at how can we take user input in Python. So without any further ado, let's get started. So first open your PyCharm. So to take user input, first create a variable is equals to, and then you have to type in a function that is called input. So let me type in input, give round brackets, let me print out var, let me run the code, and as you can see, the execution of our program has been stopped. So what is happening here is that the program is waiting for the user to type in some values. Okay, so it is waiting for us. Now let's say I typed in Python, let me hit enter, and as you can see, we got Python again. So let me print something like this. Text entered by the user, colon, okay, comma, okay. So now let me again run my demo file. Let me type in, let's say, Dharia, click on enter, and as you can see, we got text entered by the user, colon, Dharia. Now let's say some other user saw your program and ran it. Now as you can see, the program is completely stopped. Okay, so the user who will look at your program will not understand what to do. So in those cases, you have to say that, hey user, type in some values. The program is waiting for you. So in cases like these, the user will not know what to do. So to instruct the user inside the round brackets, you can pass in the text and tell the user what to do. Now let's say I type in enter some text. Okay, so let's run the code. And now as you can see, it has printed out enter some text. So now the user knows that the program is waiting for me to enter some text. Now let's type in Python again. Let me click on enter, and we got text entered by the user, colon, Python. Let's say we want to add two numbers by taking in the values by the user. Now let me create the variables, type in input, let me create another variable y, type in input, and over here let me remove this and let me type in x plus y is equals to, comma, x plus y. So what is happening here is that this is an expression. So Python will first evaluate it. So the value that is stored inside x and y will get added up, and first it will print x plus y is equals to, and the value we will get. Now let me remove this. Now let me type in x over here so that the user will know that we want the value of x and y. Let me run the code, and it says x. Now let's type in 5, and it's asking for the value of y. Let's type in 3, it should give us 8. Oh, we got 53. So what is happening here is that this input function takes in a string. So this 5 is a string and this 3 is also a string. So that is why we are getting 53. Now we want integers over here. So to take integer, create a separate variable. Let's call it a. Type in int, and inside int, pass in the variable that has stored the input, and the variable name is x. Now for y, variable b, type in y. Now over here, I will type in a plus b. So a has the integer value of x and b has the integer value of y. Now if we run the code, we type in 5 and 3, we hit enter, and as you can see, it is saying x plus y is equals to 8, and that is the correct output. Now there is another better way to do that. Now let me show you. I don't need this a and b variable anymore. So, and that way is to type in int at the beginning of input and surround input by parentheses like this. Now let me type in x plus y over here. Let's run the code. Let me type in 5 and 3. So we got the same output. Now let me run the code again. Let's type in 5 and let's say I typed in 3.6. So the number that we are expecting over here is 8.6. Now if I hit enter, it says that value error invalid literal for integer with base 10 3.6. So what is happening here is that we are specifying that x is an integer and y is also an integer. So Python is expecting an integer over here, and as soon as we type in some other data type, Python just throws an error. So if you want to take decimal values, you have to type in float. Now let's run the code. Let me type in 5 and 3.5. So let's click on enter, and as you can see, we got 8.5, and this is the correct output. So in Python, you have to determine that this variable will store an integer or a float. So you have to predict the data types. Like when you are asking for the name of the user, you know that it will be a string. So you will type in str. So you know that the age will be a floating point. So you will type in float. So now let's say you want to take a character as an input. So let me remove this y variable over here, and let me remove this int. Inside the single quote, I will type in enter a character. And over here, let's print out the character was this character over here. And let me type in x. Okay, so now if I run the code, and let's say I type in a character D, and we got D as expected. Now let me rerun the code, and let's say the user accidentally typed in a group of characters. Now if I click on enter, we got the whole string, but we were expecting only a single character, right? So how can you access only a single character? So if you only want to access a single character, you have to use indexing. So you just need to type in square brackets, and inside these square brackets, you have to pass in the index of the string. So this G has index 0, D has 1, S has 2, and H has 3. Now, let's say I want to access the first character, so I will type in 0. Let me run the code. Let's type in this string over here. And as you can see, we got the first character. Now, you can also put this over here. Now, if we run the code, type in the string over here, and we got E. So what is happening here is that this input function is taking this string over here. So what we are doing here is that we are assigning the first character to X. And as you can see, we got E. Now let me close this. Okay. Now you can also type in an expression. So let me run the code. So let's say the expression is 2 plus 3 minus 7 into 9. Okay, so we have this expression. Now, what is the type of this expression? This is not integer, float, string, or any other type, right? So if you want to evaluate an expression, so you have to use the eval function. Let me surround this input by the eval parentheses. And inside this, I will type in enter and expression over here. And the expression was this. Okay. And the output. Okay, so let me put output over here. So So let me put output. Now if I run the code, it says enter an expression. 2 plus 3 minus 7 into 9 divided by 2. So we have this expression. If I click enter, we got minus 26.5. And this is the correct output. So this is how you can take input from the user. So that was it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please make sure to like and share this video, subscribe to my channel and ring the bell icon so that you will never miss any updates. My name is Raj from Coding with Dharia. Bye bye everyone, see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.